guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is time for my January plan with me. So hopefully you've already seen my 2019 plan with me. If not, check out the card up at the top so you can go and see how all of the front of bullet journal pages in this particular notebook are going to get set up. So before we dive into this notebook, as always, I want to give you guys a flip through of December so you can kind of see how things went. Okay, so here is December. So when I set up December, I actually had left a couple of extra spreads because I was setting up December in like mid-November, and unfortunately after that I got sick, and so I didn't really use my bullet journal a lot. So I do want to do a quick little flip through to show you how I used up those extra spreads. So at the end of November, you'll see here, I have the end of November, and I literally didn't use my bullet journal from Tuesday until Saturday. I ended up having 3 extra spreads. So the first one, I did a little hand-drawn, the manual alphabet. It says REST, so R-E-S-T. So I love drawing hands. If you guys have seen any of my videos about that, you know that that's like one of my things. So I just wanted to do line drawings of the manual alphabet. So there you have that. Then I had some stickers that I was playing around with from the Sticky Club pack for like the holidays. They had these are actually sticky notes, but I did a glue runner under them and just glued them down. So little snow globes and stickers just to say happy holidays because it kind of marks the start of December. I also did my most extra spread ever. So these little like Christmas llamas were in the Sticky Club advent calendar, and they're so not my style, but they're so stinking cute that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna figure out a way to use them. So I did this like really random Christmas tree with a tombow, and then I've got the little stump down here, and then I just filled it in with little bubbles for Christmas presents that I needed to buy for people, and then just decorated the crap out of it. So I had fun with this one. It looks kind of out of place, but you know what? I don't even care. Like, it's good. And I'm all set with my Christmas shopping because I've done all but one person, which I'm pretty proud of myself. I also have my YouTube workflow. So if you saw my 2019 setup, you know that I have retired my social media bullet journal, which like, I don't think I've ever even showed you guys inside of it because there wasn't a whole lot in there. This is honestly the thing I use the most. So now I'm just putting it back in here. So just keeps track of when I film and get videos ready. It makes it so that I don't forget anything. So it's basically the video title, so like what is it going to be, the day I film it, have I edited, uploaded, added tags, done the end screen, inserted cards, done the caption, taken the picture for the thumbnail and lettered the thumbnail in Procreate, and then have I posted it. So like that's what that means. Then I also have my How to Reshape a Habit. So this is from The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, and I just really liked the way that he explained how you reshape a habit. So I just took these were just some notes from the book that I changed into a spread. I also have what do I want to accomplish before 2019. So a lot of people do, for example, 19 before 2019 or 18 before 2018. And I wasn't sure how many things I was going to have. Like, I didn't want to make up things, but I did want to kind of focus on the things that have been on my list for a while that I need to deal with. And as you can see, I've gotten 6 completed. I've got 3 that are partially done. A couple of these I'm definitely not going to finish, but honestly, I've probably done more of them than I would have if I hadn't made the spread, so I'm still pretty happy with it. So now let's get on to December. So December, have my little quote and lettering. I still love how that came out. I have my log. So once again, I'm doing basically the way I've done it since I started using it, where I have my work schedule, so just the hours I'm at work, in the color code for work. So on the days of the week, I have, so this is the Christmas holidays, so I have, these are when I'm on vacation and then when I'm traveling, so you can see I'm actually still on vacation, but I come back from my trip. And then I just add little notes. If it's something that I know about ahead of time, I do it in block letters. If it's something that I'm doing kind of after the fact, I do it in cursive. Then I have my tasks. So this was one of those experimental pages that I wasn't sure when I did my November setup, or when I did my December plan with me, how I was actually going to do this. So what I ended up doing, and we're actually just going to jump ahead really quick. So I set up a brain dump, and I did an Alistair style brain dump, so you check out the video if you haven't watched that, so you can see how the Alistair method actually works. So basically I have J for job, P for personal, and S for social media. So what I did is I took any of my open brain dumps, anything I had on my mind, and I just wrote a big old list, and then I went through after the fact and I categorized them. So basically, if it was a personal thing, it was going to have a box in this middle section, social media box in the right section, and then I don't actually have anything for work for the left section, but that's how it would go. So these were just general things, but not necessarily things I'm going to all get done in December. They're just things that are on my mind. So what I did after that, and we're going to jump back to my tasks, is I said, okay, what are a couple of things that I have had on my list for a while that I just really, really, really want to get done? And you might notice that most, actually possibly all of these, are also on my what do I want to get done before 2019. So let's see. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Yep, literally all of them are on here. So I basically took like the top priorities of the ones I wanted to do on here, and I put them on my task list. And as you can see, I've gotten through 2 and a bit. I actually can cross this off because I just mailed that out today. It's still a work in progress. But I like this because it really focuses front and center. I don't have too many tasks going on that I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do this month. It's like, these are the big things, let's focus on these first. So I do like this. I think I'm gonna do this again for January. I'm not sure how the layout might change, but I do like this idea of having a brain dump with everything and then pulling kind of the important things to go on here. Then we have the tracker. So this was another big experiment, and I have to say it's been going fairly well. As you can see, I'm filming this on the 19th, so I've still got a bit of space left to fill out in here, and I haven't yet done the review, so you guys will see that later. I'll probably end up posting it on Instagram or something like that. One of the things that I like is that it splits out morning and evening, and then it has also monthly and weekly. So basically this section is a lot of empty space. Oops. So for example, I have been pretty good about doing some exercise stuff, not so good about some of the other stuff. It's a work in progress. I'm hoping that having it here will eventually help me get there, but I've had a lot going on. So I am going to keep this for January. I figure 1 month of testing it doesn't necessarily tell me if it's a success or not, but 2 months will give me a much better idea. So I'm going to try that again. And then I just have keys down at the bottom here. Having the reading on this right-hand column here has been really nice because honestly, I don't need more space than this. Usually the book titles are fairly short. I can always take up 2 lines and I have plenty of room. I could totally fit like 10 books on here if I had a crazy month and I read a ton. So I like having this on here and not taking up a full page for it and really just like using all of this space. I'm really happy about that. Then gratitude, once again, I like how this is going. I've just been doing sort of shorter things. Again, we're on the 19th, so definitely some of my entries are really short, but it's nice. I have plenty of space to do what I want to do. At some point, I'll probably switch up my gratitude just to do a different style so it doesn't get too repetitive, but at least for now, I do really like having this particular setup. We saw the brain dump, so let's go on into weeklies. So one thing you'll notice with weeklies is that I did decide to use stickers in December. I had some super cute stickers from my sticky pack, and so I wanted to use them and just was trying to feel like a little bit more festive. So yeah, it got a little crazy, but that's okay. So honestly, basically has been going the same as it was in the end of October and in November, where I have a 1-page weekly, my dailies, and then at the end of the day or the following morning, I do some journaling. And you can see that the amount of journaling is pretty variable. It depends how much space I have left. A lot of times in the weekend, I do have these little mini collections of things I need to cook and things I need to do for work, so that has been really nice having that extra space on there. Then I have my 2019 setup. So these are my top 5 goals for 2019. I have all of my personal bullet journals, so front of bullet journal pages. I also have my January setup pages, which we're gonna come back to, and I've tabbed it so that I wouldn't forget about it. Reading challenge, home bullet journal, medical bullet journal, and language log. If you're interested in more about this, check out my 2019 plan with me because it's very thorough, we'll say. It's very long. So there we go, more dailies and weeklies going along pretty nicely. Have a random little Calendex item down here. This was one where I needed to have my 2 mini collections, but I really didn't need to journal, or I didn't want to journal any more than this, so I ended up just writing in good friends, good tea, and good times because a friend came over, we had tea, and we chatted and had a good time. So that just kind of, I left a little bit of white space, but rather than having like a solid page of journaling and then like nothing, I don't know, it just felt kind of weird to do that, so I just did a little bit of lettering in there. And I have my travel spreads. So this is my pre-trip task list and my post-trip task list. Goodness gracious, they're so hard to say. Anyway, so basically anything that I need to do before I leave, and I even have a little mini section of the morning of, so the morning I'm leaving, and also all of the devices I need to make sure I have charged the night before, plus any random things that come up during the week. Some of these go on my daily, some of them I just kind of leave on here because I know there's certain things, and as I do them, I check them off. Then my post-trip, I have any sort of like personal stuff I need to do. So things I need to do as soon as I get back, grocery shopping, unpacking. I want to change all my sheets and towels because they'll have been sitting in my empty apartment for a week, that kind of fun stuff. And then also for work, because one of the reasons why I'm only going back to the States for a week is so that I have approximately a week that I can use to work on personal projects, to use to work on work projects. So I wanted to start listing out the things that I was going to work on because I'm not bringing any work with me. I'll probably end up bringing my laptop and stuff because I'll have YouTube that I'll want to work on, but I'm not going to do any like actual work lesson planning work while I'm back. And so rather than worrying about it and like having it on my mind, anything that I think of, I just write down here so that I know I won't forget about it. Then I have my Christmas like trip information. So I have my train information and my flight information. I also have a couple things that I want to do and people I want to see while I'm back. And then I have my packing list. So I actually think that the trip I took in October was the first time I had kind of labeled things out this way. I used to just clump the information in these categories, but I just didn't label them. And I labeled it for that last trip and really liked it. So I decided to do that again. So I have important toiletries, tech and paper, clothes, and outerwear. And one of the things that I really like about having this is that it really makes it clear. Now this, I actually have a pretty low packing list for this trip because I don't have to bring as many clothes. I think I probably have a couple more things I need to write down in here, but like especially toiletries, for example. My parents have a bunch of this stuff, so I only have to bring a couple of specific things that I really want, but it's a really nice, simple packing list. If I had needed more space, I wouldn't have put the washi tape. So honestly, I knew that I wasn't going to fill in all of these pages completely, and so I decided to do a little bit of festive washi tape since I also had been doing stickers during my weeklies just to kind of make it fun. So yeah, that is this particular spread. Very handy as always. Then I am up to this week. So as I mentioned before, I'm currently filming on Wednesday the 19th because I would like to get this up for you guys on the 23rd. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, same as always, weekly, dailies, and we are up to today. So basically, during the day before I kind of wrap up and I'm getting ready for the next day, this is what my dailies look like. And then at the end of the day, once I set up the next day and I see how much space I have, that's when I'll go ahead and do my journaling. Honestly, this morning I had to leave pretty early for work, so I had enough time to set up my daily, but I didn't even throw in stickers. So I will work on that probably this evening whenever I have a little bit of time. So that is December so far. Obviously, we still have, like a week and a half or so left. So that will just kind of go in the end here. But since I'm moving into a new bullet journal in January, I don't even have to worry about counting pages, which is awesome. So let's go back. Let's take a look at my January setup. So I'm going to keep basically the same setup that I did in December. I have my quote and my intro page, my log, tasks, which I'm thinking for January I'll do a top 5. We'll see. Just to kind of top 5 is a good number. It's one less than 6, so it feels a little bit more manageable for the month. I don't know, just kind of a random choice. Then tracker, my reading, gratitude, and then my brain dump. So that's going to basically be the setup, same as always. I originally was going to do black and copper, and then I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. I tried to do my front of bullet journal pages and my months different colors, but it's my birthday month and I really want to do like black and gray, but also copper. So I just decided I'm going to do gray. So basically what I'm going to do is I'll use my Microns to set up spreads, and then for writing I have a copper Faber-Castell and a gray Pentel sign pen, and I actually just was at the paper store today and I bought a new one because I was so disappointed by the fact that it looks super orange in my front of bullet journal setup pages for my 2019 plan with me that I was like, I need a new pen. So anyway, that's gonna be my colors, keeping it pretty simple because, yep. And I'm thinking, I made this little note down here that I think I might wanna do some white space. So because it's, I don't know, just that kind of clean look for my birthday month, I was thinking that might be a thing I wanna do. So I'm not planning to do stickers in January. Now, who knows if that will change? You guys will see when I do my February plan with me, but that's kind of the plan. So that is what I've got in here for my pre-planning spreads. So let's take a look in here. You guys have already, if you saw my 2019 plan with me, you've already seen all of this. So I'm just gonna kind of flip through really quick. I've started filling out, but I still have a ton more to do. Most of this is completely blank because I've just been super busy with work, but I will work on that. Still have to figure out what I'm doing with that. So this is going to be January. I just did a couple of little lines for how I want to do my quote. Then I've got my log and tasks. I literally just marked where my 31 days would start and end. The main thing for pre-setup are all of the little tick marks for my tracker because that one is a little bit more complicated. And then I've just got my gratitude and my brain dump. And I will also set up my quarterly goals because that was the one spread for my 2019 set of spreads that I didn't actually get a chance to set up. So I'm going to set that up here so that as I'm going to fill in, I have a place to actually put it. So that is going to be January. Pretty straightforward. Let's go back to the front here. So I will time lapse you guys and come back at the end and show you how everything went. That is the end of the time lapse, so let's take a look. Since January is my birthday month, I wanted to have a weird quote. I know I normally do like monthly related quotes, but I didn't really feel like doing a New Year quote. I honestly just wanted to do a weird one. So I picked this one, "Some are born weird, some achieve it, others have weirdness thrust upon them" by Dick Francis, and I just thought that was kind of fun. Also, it was one of the shorter ones that I liked. There were a couple of longer ones that I really liked too. I just didn't really want to actually do all of that. And you guys can tell, like, I sort of spaced it out, but I also like didn't. Vertically it all looks good, but horizontally it's like things are kind of out of whack. And actually I might have mixed up my horizontal vertical there, but you guys know what I mean. Like, things on the line aren't necessarily centered with things on other lines, but the actual lines themselves are spaced evenly. And you know what? It was one of those things that I eyeballed it and I just went for it. And what's the point of having a perfectly lettered quote about being weird? Like, I feel like it defeats the purpose. So I honestly kind of love it. I think it's a little ridiculous and I'm a fan. So I did that over here, and then I have my January 2019. So I just did kind of normal bouncy-ish brush lettering. So I think that came out pretty well, except for the fact that my tail, I kind of skipped a little bit, so I had to fill it in after the fact. And it's a tiny bit messy, but oh well. So that is my intro page. Then I have my standard monthly log. I decided to do like almost block lettering sort of, and the way, if you guys can kind of tell, I basically took a 2x2 square and just sort of centered the letter inside that square, and that's how I got that sort of spacing for all of this. And then I've got my upcoming month for February, so I will fill this in with my work schedule in color code, anything that comes up, important dates, what have you. So this honestly has been going super, super well. I am not changing it in the slightest. I have my tasks, so I did do kind of some funky bouncy lettering over here, you know, and I think what I'm gonna do, if I do end up sticking with 5 big tasks for the month, I'll probably end up doing some sort of like a 2-1-2 pattern. I'm not sure exactly how. We'll see how it goes. This is one that I'm gonna leave blank until I migrate everything from my brain dump and I see sort of what the situation is. I have my tracker and reading. I was kind of playing around with different styles of lettering here, and I was like, well, I have this huge section, and since I'm playing with white space, I don't want to add stickers, so let's make a ridiculously large header. Why not? You can tell I definitely messed up a little bit over here where I had my lines going in and out, but overall it worked out really well. I did do a combination of black and gray. It's really hard to tell, like honestly, even in person, it's really hard to tell, but so be it. I have the exact same things on here that I had for December. I have the same key except for I've changed one thing out, but otherwise it's the same. I have the same in my other, the same stuff in my other section. I just sort of reduced I just shortened the keys, so I do actually have room for one more thing if I need it. I don't know that I will, but you never know. And again, I have my review. Honestly, I did the brackets because I didn't feel like drawing the boxes with a ruler. Like that's honestly the reason why I did them. Also, I think it looks kind of cool. Like in the end, it looks kind of cool. Reading is over here. So because my reading challenge, or my reading challenge for 2019 is 60 books, which means roughly 5 books a month. That is what my goal is for January, and we'll see how that goes. Then I have gratitude, and then I have my brain dump, so work, personal, and social media. When I go through to fill this in, I will do I'll do my full brain dump, and then after that, I'll go back in and draw in the boxes so that I don't have to think about like how I'm categorizing it. I just can spend, 20, 30 minutes getting it all on paper, and then I worry about how to like sort it out after. So that is that. And the last thing I have is my quarterly goal spread. So this is one that I mentioned in my 2019 plan with me. This is going to work in conjunction with my 5-4-3-2-1 spread. So this is the 5 years, 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days, 1 hour with personal and professional goals separated out. So what my goal is I'm going to, possibly while I'm actually home for the holidays, in the extra pages I have in my current bullet journal, I'm going to do some brainstorming so that when I get back, I can start filling in what are my current goals. Now, obviously these are all subject to change. You never know what's going to happen, but at least right now, what are my current goals in terms of very short term to rather long term? Once I see that, I'm going to pick out some that are on the shorter term section, obviously, for this year, and I'm going to kind of try and break them down by when I think I want to do them. So, for example, I know that this time of year is always super, super hectic because it's back to school, we have grades and stuff that are due, there's like all kinds of stuff going on, like it's just a very busy time of year. So some of my bigger projects I'm going to probably decide to not do during Q4. In the summer when I'm off, I'm going to work on some of those kinds of projects. And then, so I want to kind of look at the year and split it out into sections and say, what do I think I can realistically get done in each 3-month section of time? Now, again, if I don't get something done, it's not the end of the world. I can move it on, but it's just to sort of help me visualize the year rather than all of a sudden waking up and going, oh my gosh, it's December and I haven't done all the things I wanted to do. So I'm hoping that this will work. This is something that I mentioned before. I'm planning on doing page threading where essentially, and of course I've now lost my page again, so essentially anything I do in here will, if it's something that's short enough term, will get linked. So for example, we are on page 4 here. My quarterly spread is on page 25, 26. So for example, if I have something in professional that's in a short term that I want to get done in Q2, I would then write it in here and then I would page thread. So this is my 8th bullet journal, I think. Oh my goodness, it's my 8th bullet journal. So I would do either 8.25 or just 25, depending on how precise I want to be. If it's going to be something for Q3 or Q4, then I'll do wherever it is, and I'll do for page 26. So that way I can kind of see on here, if it's page 25, I know it's the first half of the year. If it's page 26, I know it's the second half of the year. And then once I actually get to my quarterly goals, so let's start with Q1, once I have things that I'm going to start working on and doing project planning pages, then on this page, I can go ahead and do in brackets, whatever. So let's say I'm, starting in January and it's on page 35. So I can have whatever the goal is. And then in parentheses, I have page 35 so that when I'm going through, I know, oh, I have project planning pages on this page. And then I can, leave that open so that if I actually have it on page 35 and then later on page 84, I can thread those all in here so that when I'm looking at my quarterly goals, I know where all the relevant project planning pages are in my bullet journal. That's the plan. We'll see how it works. I will definitely come back and let you guys know how it ends up working out. But yeah, this is January. It's pretty simple. Honestly, this setup has been working, so I don't really see any reason to change it quite yet. I am super excited for this gray, copper, black theme and also to do like a more minimalist white space look. Super excited about that. And yeah, if you guys have any comments or questions, let me know down in the comment section and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Hey guys, so if you've made it all the way to the end of this video and are actually watching my end screen and you're not subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would. There's a little button right there for you to do it. And if you're interested in watching some more of my videos, I have links to 2 of my older videos off to the left there, so you can check those out if you would like to, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!